Alrighty, so the drip irrigation and the little bubbler irrigation sprinklers are coming along good. This is July 21st, 1954. I'm just kidding. Nah, July 21st, 2024. All right, so let's see what's going on here. So we did trench it about 250 feet last time, all the way. And you can see there is no leak. I turned the water on. You see? There is no leak. So I can cover it up now. I can just cover it up. The job is easier to cover than dig, right? And see how it is going. Going very well. Look at that. Holy moly. A lot of water for this persimmon, the Fuyu persimmon. That's my favorite. And you can adjust this like on the top to angle it. You see, you can angle it. And since there are a lot of sprinklers here, that's why it doesn't have much pressure, but it doesn't need much pressure because it's going directly to the roots. But if I adjust the other sprinkler, I bet it'll fan out more good. But as of now, I don't care. This is going to be, I can adjust to make it, put some shrubs here, and I can adjust the little pressure area and to make sure the shrubs can get those water, okay? All right, so that's good. Let's see. There are no joints here, so no need of worrying about leaks here. Like I said, I went about 8 to 10 inches deep so that when I mow my grass or do something in future, I don't break those lines. Yep, at the T there is no leak. Looking good. And then here looks good. The perfect for some herbs around the tree. Be a symbiotic relationship. Look at the moss. Oh my goodness, beautiful. Look at that. Oh wow. Those moss are like unbelievable. It feels so soft. Oh wow. It feels so soft when you touch it. Wow. Yeah. I wish I had hair like that. I can play with my hair like that. I'm bald. All right, so there we go. So that is that. Our little symbiotic life. And this one, so that's the perfect place for this plum tree to now fruit because the water was not there. You see how far away it is from the house? About 500 feet from the house, you see? So that's the reason it didn't have much water. Like 500 feet away, I don't want to pull a hose. It's a lot of big area. It's about 3 acres in the front. So this is sustainable. I don't have to worry about it. I'm putting on a timer. The timer will water like 2 times a day, 3 times a day, depending on the temperature. Right now it's running close to 90, 100 degrees here. So I can just put 2 or 3 times a day, morning and evening. That way the water does not evaporate too fast before the trees can absorb. So morning and evening is the best. Like morning, this amount of water for this size of tree, this is like 2-year-old tree. This amount of water coming out, you don't have to water more than 15 minutes at a time. So in the morning you water for 15 minutes, in the evening you do 15 minutes. That should provide them like 3-4 gallons because see how much water is coming out. That's a lot of water. That's like 2 or 3 gallons in every hour or every half an hour, if not more. So every tree are getting like 2 or 3 gallons. If you do 15 minutes, every tree will get at least 1 gallon, 2 gallons. In the evening, that's 5 gallons a day. If you do 2 times a day, and that should be enough. All right, so it doesn't have to be accurate. It doesn't have to be too perfect. As long as you see the trees are getting enough moisture and water, that they'll take off. They will take off, right? As long as you don't create a swamp with your water. All right, so that's that. Looking great. Look at that. Wow, holy moly. Perfect. So that's how I like this little fan out sprinklers in some place where I want to grow herb because it's going to be more things under the mother tree. So that's why you have to kind of mix it up with bubblers. And I can put here some drip right? Because those take majority of the pressure, and all I have to do is the bubblers will not have much pressure, because see, all the pressure is going to those sprinklers, and bubbler will have just enough psi, about 20-25 psi, to drip it to the roots of the other things. I'm going to put it here. Maybe I can put some watermelons, we'll see. But there's a lot of area between the trees, about 20 feet I have between the trees to plant anything I want. You see, between the trees I have 20 feet, about 20 feet. And so it's going good. Sorry about the junk here, all the old chairs broke. These chairs don't last. These chairs suck. We need to just kind of better quality chair to make sure that we don't waste our money. I'm gonna make some chairs with wood. It doesn't make sense to buy chairs. All right, there we go. Here we go. Look at that. Look at that water coming out. That's perfect. That's our other fig trees. So we have 2 fig trees here. This is a little baby fig trees, about 1 year old, taking off very well. So with this water, it'll thrive. You see. All right, and let's see here. Yep, looking good, looking good. Not good there. There you go. There's the other one. There you go. That fig is going to go good. It's already fruiting. That fig is already fruiting. A small tree, already fruiting. Not even a 2-year-old. Probably about one and a half years. Probably one and a half years, and it's already fruiting. Figs are usually hard to sometimes take off, once you plant it. But once they're established, they're good. But to establish in the beginning, it takes a little work. This is the clean out, you see. So every month I'm going to clean it out. So any sediments that gets into my irrigation pipe will come out. You just turn this on, you turn it on like I showed you. You just take it off like that. And you see, that's how you can clean out. Once a month you do it. It'll be good. I don't have to do as much because I have a little filter mesh at the end, in the beginning of the tap, where the supply line is. So this is just a secondary option, just to clean it out, just to make sure there's nothing going to clog my irrigation bubblers and things like that. All right, so let's see, go look at the supply line. It's coming from the house. The pipe that is outside our house, that's what supplies this water. So far looking good. All the hard work is paying off. The Fuyu Persimmon is going to be very happy. You see how much water is coming out? So like I said, you don't have to water more than 15 minutes a time, 2 times a day. When it's hot, they will have enough water with that kind of volume. All right, so let's see what we are going to have here. Oh, pomegranate. Look at the pomegranates fruiting so good. So pomegranates sometimes need male and a female, and that was not producing as much. Once I put this guy near this pomegranate, near that pomegranate, they have like a husband and wife relationship, and they're very happy, and they're producing a lot of fruits. This one is. That one is not producing yet. But that used to produce. So it's funny how they work, because they have to pollinate. They have a lot of pollen grains. They pollinate. I'm thinking I'm going to graft it, since this is producing a lot of fruit. The male or female, I don't know what it is. Probably I think it's a female. That's probably a male. I don't know, because that used to fruit, so I don't know how it can not work. So I'm going to take it off. I'm going to cut a small stem out of that, graft it on this guy, and see if that produces fruit. If that does, then we are good. So you can do grafting like that, okay? Okay, all right. So let's see, this pomegranate looking good too. Oh, wow, look at the size of that pomegranate. What is it? Pomegranate? I don't know. Whatever it is, you know what it is. If you don't know what it is, then you got to learn how to translate the words into meaning. All right. So this is looking good. This pomegranate tree is good. Okay, so now let's look at the area here. Well, let's see. So I have a timer here. I put the timer in a box because in the winter it used to I forget to winterize and it used to crack and stuff. In the sun, the battery dies. So I took an old metal box and put my timer in there. So I made it's worked very well. You see, and all the manifold comes into the timer. I'm going to get one more timer there. This rainbow timers are really good, but I want to get a rainbow timer. So this is like a one timer. It's not enough for me. So what I'm going to do is get a similar timer which has 4 outlets. So I have 4 different times I can water different areas. It's called the zones. So I'm going to put a zone timer there with 4 outlets so that I can just turn the zones on, because you can't water all the zones at the same time because the pressure won't be enough. So you have to split out different zones for different times. One zone you can start at 5 a.m. Other zone you can start at 6 a.m. Other zone you can start at 7 a.m. So you stagger the zones. So if you have 4 different zones with 4 different areas, you stagger your timer in a way that the water pressure is constant across different areas. That's how you do. That's why you have to get a timer. There's a rainbow timer which has 4, for example, a 4 zone. It's very good. They're very high quality. They last for years. So I'm going to get a timer like that and remove that one timer and put that 4 zone timer. That should be enough for me because I have about 4 zones here in this area. All right, so this is a mechanical timer. I use a mechanical timer for my chicken because I don't need a regular timer. I just fill up the chicken water once a week or once in 2 weeks. Whenever the barrel empties, I just put it on a mechanical, turn it on, and then it will fill up my barrel for the chicken water. So that's why it's mechanical. Very cheap. Mechanical is much cheaper than the electronic one. All right, this is the one I put here, the supply line. This is house water coming out. And the well water is the best, or the rainwater, okay? And then this one, I have manifold, 4 outlets. This is the guy that is going to my drip irrigation that I showed you just now. That is the filter, the sediment filter. It has a mesh in there. That's the clean out. You open it, water gets cleaned out, okay? So that once a week or once a month, whenever you think there is sediment, you clean it out. Sediments flush out, okay? Whatever gets stuck in this mesh, there's a mesh inside it. From here, it comes here, see the arrow mark, water flows and goes into your trunk of the drip irrigation pipes. That is the ones underground I showed you. So that's how it works. So once I get my 4 zone timer, I'll be hooking up that on a 4 zone timer. And then this will be one zone. The one zone area is what I showed you, 250 feet. And then I'll have other 2 zones on the same timer at a different schedule. So that's how I'm going to do it. So this one zone, and then the 2 zones will be 1 and 2 and 3. So other 3. So the 4 zone timer will work perfectly because I have 4 zones around this area. All right, so this is my little barrel just to catch a little rainwater for my pomegranate, so I can just put for them. All right, my little tarp, not good because see, I need to buy a landscape fabric. I ran out of landscape fabric. I thought I'll use this tarpaulin tarp that is used for like billboards and stuff because I had it here lying around. See, but it doesn't seep water, so it's catching all this dirty water and this stagnant. Mosquitoes and shit is coming in the water. So what I have to do now is poke holes. So I just take a little pickaxe and poke holes. Once I poke holes, small holes, it should be fine. It'll drain the water out. That's what I need to do. But I'm going to get landscape fabric next time. It's expensive. That's why I didn't get it. Once you do farming, you go broke very fast, okay? That's the reality of things. Unless you make a lot of money, then you don't farm. So that is my lemon trees doing very good. Curry leaves. Mama curry leaves and the baby curry leaves are doing very good. So I took a curry leaf. And if anybody wants curry leaf plants, let me know. This is one of those most fragrant, healthy herb you can use in your curries. Okay, if you want one, let me know. Again, if you're nearby, I can get it to you. So yeah, I have this curry leaf, the little baby plants. They are like $15 each, you know. So if you buy more, probably you can get a little discount. So this is the tomato plant. I started putting hay on the little plants to protect them from protect the moisture, to keep the moisture in the soil. And the hay is doing the good job, so the tomatoes are growing. But they're young. It's good to hold the moisture in the ground, and hay works well. Make sure the hay you have, it doesn't have any seeds and stuff. You see, like that. No seeds, otherwise you'll have full of weeds instead of tomatoes and things. Our catnip. It's catnip. It's doing good. Oh, sorry, it's lemon balm. Yeah, that's lemon balm. Oh, it smells so good. That's lemon balm. Looks good. It's doing good. It smells so amazing. Okay. All right. What's going on here? That's mint. Mint is amazing. It grows like crazy. You see the mint grows crazy. So I've had little pots just to give to other people. It's really good, and it also keeps your bugs away. If you have any bugs, pest that's troubling your vegetables, you put mint. Okay, mint will take care of it. Amarnath is one of the herbs you can use like spinach and stuff. Instead of spinach, you can use that Amarnath. It's really good. You just cut it and eat it. It's really good. Okay. All right. This is all pesticide free. Okay, so it's all no pesticide. The only thing I use to control pests is neem oil, which is natural. Okay, so I kind of showed you a lot of things here. It's good. How you apply this, the hay would be ideal. Will be you get some hay like this, old hay that doesn't have much seeds or anything, and you can buy hay that doesn't have seed from anywhere usually because they produce hay for gardens and they don't have any seed. That's what they do because nobody wants to bring more weed into the garden. So what you do is, so I'm going to put those hay in these pots, right? What you do is put a layer of ash. So what I do is, I have a lot of ash here when I burn things. Ash is one of the best fertilizer, actually, amendment you can add to your soil. So I put ash and I put the hay on top, and then the drip irrigation, the drippers will drip it for you. See how moist the soil is? Very moist. It's all weed here. All right. So all this, you don't need to put it out, but you can see, keep the soil moist and they're happy. So looking good so far. The work has been done for our irrigation. The plants are going to have a good life and they're going to evolve into better healthy parents and very healthy mama and daddy plants. Believe it or not, plants do have male and female in certain species of the plants. It's unbelievable how it goes. But now you see here, so now my job is to cover all this up. And that's what I'm going to do. Once it's all covered, because I see there's no leak. Everything is running. Plums. This plum has to have only one fruit because it's only 2 years old. Now I bet in 6 months, because of the water, 6 months it'll be winter, but after winter is over, next year it'll have a full of plums. That's how usually it happens. They get stunted with very less water. Once you put water for them, they thrive. And the plums don't need much fertilizer. They're very adept to getting nutrition from the sand. But I'm going to put something like ash or other compost. Those compost and mulch. Mulch for sure. No matter what you do, if you have sandy soil like this, see how sandy it is? It doesn't matter how sandy it is. You put mulch on there, like 2 feet mulch around. Don't put mulch right under the trunk of the tree like I have done. So I'm going to take a little pickaxe or a little shovel and spread it out, because that root should not be bound like that. It should the root ball should be like visible, like should be like barely under the ground. So this thing, the root ball is like already stuck into the mulch and stuff. So I'm going to clean it out. Remove. When you put mulch, you put like 2 feet away from the trunk, so that way the mulch doesn't squeeze the trunk, and the roots can breathe. So that's what I'm going to do, and that way the mulch will decompose. A period of time, if you get mulch which is already partially decomposed, it doesn't take much. Probably take a couple of months, maybe 3-4 months for it to decompose more and provide anything it needs. So looking good. At last my figs are getting some water, and my plants and my persimmon, so it's beautiful. All right, so let's see what else I can show you here. Trying to give you as much knowledge as possible so you can get started. All right, so see the one I showed you, the sediment filter. If you have a lot of impurities in your water, right, like rainwater use, it can have impurities coming from the roof. Then you get a bigger filter. You see that bigger filter, and how this works is just it has a mesh inside it. And you can put a pressure regulator here. So that's like this is actually so you put a pressure regulator and you put a one-way, it's called a one-way check valve, so the water doesn't flow back into your pipes. So one-way check valve and a pressure regulator. You can buy something like one-way check valve. Pressure regulator looks like just like this attachment that goes on top. So the check valve and pressure regulator will come on the top, attached to the house. And this one inside there's a filter. That's the clean out. Let me see if I can open it. There you go. So you see how the filter is. So these are more heavy duty kind of things, like better in the sense it can filter more volume of water. So in this zone, since I don't have much trees, I just put the little filter that I showed you. But this is another type of filter, is really good. But in the winter, this will crack if you don't winterize, if you don't empty it out if you don't empty the water out, it will crack. And mine has cracked. So that's the reason I had to buy new, because in the winter you had to winterize by emptying it out. So you see, that's how it looks. Like I said, you put a one-way check valve on the top and a pressure regulator, which is the 25 psi that I showed you before. That should make sure the water doesn't flow back, because one-way check valve only goes one way. And then pressure regulator makes sure that your drip irrigation doesn't have too much pressure. And that's it. Clean out, like, on the bottom, clean out. Yep, you can take it off and clean it out so that all the things from the flush out, it'll flush out from whatever is stuck in the mesh, it'll flush out. Okay, that's how it looks, that's how it works. Yep, that's it. Basically, that's about it. So now if you wonder how to connect things, you see I have these two things. They are not going to be able to, we are not able to connect directly. So what we have to do, you see that's threaded, it's threaded. So there are two females. Now we need a male to connect it. How we do it? Well, we have a thing called a cutout. You go to Lowe's and you get a cutout, you see. And this cutout thing is designed to the needs, such needs. If you have special needs like that, you can use this. It says 2.5 inch cut off riser. So it's called a cut off riser. It's for 1.5 inch, right? So that's what we have here, is 1.5 inch. So basically when we use a thing like this, a cut off riser, a 2.5 inch cut off riser, what we do is cut it off. Like you just put this into this thing. You see, it fits perfectly right there. You screw it in, you cut it off. After you screw it in all the way a little bit, you cut it off here, right there. Right there. You cut off in the middle of that, right there. You see, you cut off right there. Once you cut off right there, you can then screw this guy on the top of it. You see, because that's a male. Then you can screw this guy on top of it. So basically, you're doing is taking a riser cut off, screwing it in, and then you're cutting off right in the middle there, where there's thread, and then screwing that on top, right? The reason you're cutting it off, because it is you can't do it on the top because it's too big, right? It's kind of tapered. So when you cut off, that's 1/2 inch, that's 3/4 inch. You don't need 3/4, you need 1/2 inch. So that's the reason they make it like this, so you can cut it off wherever you want and then thread it in, and that should make your sprinkler. And that's how I did it. On the ones that you see here, because I didn't have the extension. So without the extension, I just used the riser. You can see how it's looking. But if you want the extension, you can surely use the extension. Like here, I use the extension to keep it a little higher, so you can bring it higher, you see. So there are different ways of doing things, okay? And the more options you have, the better you can make. Already. Take care. Bye-bye.